Hey, what's up everybody? It's LaWerk, and in this video I'm going to talk about why writer's block is not a real thing, and if you feel like you're having writer's block, I'll talk about some things you can do to overcome it and actually write something. So I wanted to make this video because a while ago I put on Twitter that writer's block is not real, and I got a bunch of negative reactions like, of course it's real, I've had so many days where it feels impossible to write something, or other people were like, oh, well, maybe it's not real for you, but it's a real problem for other people, and you have to be aware of that. But I don't. I really don't think it's real because you can always push through it. And some days it's gonna take you longer to come up with ideas, but the ideas will come if you put in the effort. So a few arguments that I have to say that writer's block does not actually exist is thinking about other artistic things. Like if you're a painter, let's say you're an artist and you paint. Well, you can't get painter's block. Like you can always come up with a painting. It might not be your best one, but you can always put paint on the canvas, even if you're just like throwing splatter paint on a blank canvas. You can always just like scribble in a notebook and draw something if you draw. You don't get painter's block. Or if you're a dancer, you can always just move your body. It's not gonna be your best dance or your best choreography every time if you're not feeling it, but it's still important to practice no matter what skill it is. And it's just unrealistic to say that, oh, I can't write something. Like you can always, as long as your hand works and you can write words on the page, it's possible. And if you want to be the best at your craft, if you want to be the best at anything, you need to practice every single day, whether you feel like it or not. It's not like Michael Jordan was like, oh, I have basketball block today. I'm just not gonna show up. Like, it doesn't work that way. You have to put in some effort. You have to produce something. So I wrote down a few ideas. This is mainly for rappers and songwriters and singers, but it can also be applied if you're an author or a poet or you're writing a screenplay or anything like that. These ideas might help. So one thing you can do is do what I'm doing right now and just talk to yourself out loud and just have a conversation and record it or write it down. And it doesn't have to be like the specific lyrics you wanted. Just talk to yourself until it goes in a certain direction, and you can always come up with ideas like that. Another way for rappers is if you just put on a beat and freestyle. If you're having trouble writing stuff down, just freestyle to the beat and record it, and then figure out which bars work best for your song, and then you wrote something. It's as simple as that. Just write the best lines down after you say them. Some other ideas are to simply read a book and find a topic that way, find new vocabulary. So there's just so many things that you could do. You could also use a random word generator online to just go through a bunch of different words for inspiration until one really speaks to you, and make sure to incorporate it in your lyrics. And just branch out from there. Once you find one word you like, just make a sentence out of it, make another line. Like, there's no way you can actually tell me that there's any circumstance where you can't write something. Maybe it's not going to be the best song you ever wrote, but it's still going to be better than doing nothing. So don't make an excuse by saying, oh, I have writer's block, I just can't do it right now. That's called being a loser. And I do have another idea just to throw it out there, because there's just so many things you can do. Like, even if it's unrelated to music or unrelated to writing, you could just go for a walk, you can get some exercise, you could watch a TV show, and it will give you new ideas as long as you bring it back to writing about it and after you do that activity. And another idea that I think is really useful is if you feel like you're stuck, you can just write in a journal as a normal journal entry. Just like write in your diary, not even as lyrics, but just write how you're feeling, write how your day is going, write what you're thinking about. And after that, you can turn it into lyrics that rhyme. You don't always have to start by rhyming. You can just write anything. no matter what, and then turn it into lyrics later. So I hope this video clears up what I mean by this. Like, yeah, there are gonna be some times when you like can't think of the right rhyme as a rapper, or you can't think of a topic that you wanna write about, but it's really a lot simpler than people make it out to be. If you have writer's block, these are already a ton of ideas you can use to overcome it. So I hope that's helpful.